Where do we go? We don't know, but we know where we're at, and that's Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A, so here we go. This is what we're doing. The WBO featherweight champion, Oscar Valdez, post-fight recap over Carmine Tommasone. Now, do we give Oscar the Keith Thurman treatment? You know, he's been gone a long time, came back, a little bit of rusty, didn't look too well. You know, he's in there with a pillow punching jab machine in Carmine. Besides moving around the ring and pumping out jabs, he had no threat to offer Valdez. No power, no punching. Just when can Valdez catch up to him? And when he did, he was hitting him hard with some shots. Now, it was cool to see Valdez. This was also like a Kovalev type performance too. New trainer, first time under the new trainer, off a long time. Coming back from a broken jaw, how was he going to test his jaw? Even though he said it was 100%, still, you know, fighters are like, okay, I got to get ready. He seemed to not be fazed by that. Throwing punches. It was an easy fight. It was a fight for him to win. It was a showcase fight for him to come out, look like the old champ again, get some wrinkles out. And it was good, you know. The uppercut that caught him, that was a nice counter. You know, he saw that Carmine was ducking his head, so when he threw that jab, Carmine ducked. He came in with a nice counter uppercut, turned his neck, bent his knee. You know, it was like, hey, you know, referee stopped that fight. Good for you. Fight got stopped. You were able to look decent, able to have your wits, didn't get rushed off to the hospital, so you're able to propose to your fiance. That's good. And the fight getting stopped. But I think eventually Valdez would have caught him with something hard, and they would have checked his ass. They wouldn't have let him have all that free time in the ring to propose. They would have been taking his ass to a nearby hospital. Like I said, the performance-wise, Valdez he didn't cut the ring off on the mover, but he found him. And just as I said, it was a showcase fight, number 14 versus the champion. So, you know, like here on the Double RT Boxing Show, when we say the best versus the best and the champions fighting the best, good fight. I have no problem with him fighting Carmine, especially coming back from a broken jaw. You know, was he off? He was off for 11 months. So I have no problem with fighting number 14. It's still a ranked fighter, still one of the best out there, and he beat him pretty well. Now, what can he do against the champions? I don't see him beating Gary Russell Jr. Leo Santa Cruz should be able to box him. Maybe if he gets into a war, Valdez might have some power. Warrington, I think even Warrington, because even though Warrington's kind of labeled as a pressure volume puncher, that dude comes in and backs out on good angles. And with that reach and his punch selection, I think that'll be a good fight. Like I said, Valdez has the power to maybe fight these guys and hope for something, but as of right now, on boxing for boxing, I say he's coming in 4th place against Russell, Cruz, and Warrington. Not that he can't beat any of them, but I'm not going to favor him in any of them. Now, with Eddie Reynoso, can this change? I think so, because I think Canelo is a hell of a fight boxer. I think he has good punch selection, good movement with his waist, good punch slipping. You know, now technically, I get it. That's the fighter wanting to be that way, but obviously Eddie chiseled and carved Canelo into that. If he could, because Valdez is still young, he can be molded and taught new things. If Reynoso could mold Valdez into that path of Canelo, the slipping of the waist, rolling punches, Valdez can be something, because with his boxing type, his power, you know, his hunger, his speed. He can be like a mini Canelo, I think. I think he can. It's gonna have to be. Are they gonna have the time, and how long are they gonna be in this camp trying to change? Because Valdez definitely has a lot of. He gets hits too much on defense. His hand, like I said, he was keeping his hands up pretty good last night. He's definitely. He was the weak link to me in the 140 and 126 champions. Now that Eddie is with him, I'm gonna give him a little bit of shot. I guess how people are saying Buddy McGirt is helping Kovalev. I give that a little bit of a leeway. Like I'm going to give this a leeway. I just don't think the fighters are going to change that drastically. Kovalev can't fight at a boxing type way all the time. He needs to be the crusher. We'll see how that mixes in. I don't think that safe Kovalev we saw last night is going to last too long. I think it's going to catch up to him. And Valdez, what can he come? Looking at this top, let's see. Genesis, Oge, Jesse Magdaleno, Joette Gonzalez, Christopher Diaz, Carl Frampton. That's a top 6. So Valdez is safe right there. If he doesn't want to go a unification route with any of these champions, but he said he wants to fight Warrington. You know, now if he doesn't want to fight any champions, Genesis Cervantes gave him a tough fight back. He beat him. Oge Malinowski, Sky. I think I watched him once, but I don't know who he is. Jesse Magdaleno, I think he could beat Jesse. Jesse was going to try and move and box him. Joette Gonzalez, I don't know. Christopher Diaz. Is that the same Christopher Diaz that fought Ito? No, but Ito is a much different weight. Yeah, it can't be. I don't know Christopher Diaz. And then yeah, that might be him. That because Ito, Christopher Diaz, that's the one who fought Diaz at 130. Valdez should win him, but that's a top-ranked fighter. So that might get done. That might get done. I won't be surprised on a ESPN card. And then there's Carl Frampton, number 6. So even though he called out Warrington, there was a talks with Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton's name is still somewhat hot. So maybe he might come to the stateside, get on ESPN, get a title shot, get some money, some revenue for the channel. I think Oscar Valdez versus Frampton might bring it'll keep Valdez the A side fighting in the States. I'm pretty sure any fight it'll probably get more money in the States, but Warrington has a good fan base over in Leeds, and I don't see why he would have to travel considering he's being the more popular champ, doing more work. But here's that fight against Kid Gallahan, so I don't know if that's going to get postponed, and I don't see that stopping with a unification with Valdez. I would stop it, but I won't be surprised if I see Valdez fighting Diaz or Frampton next. The Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. Thank you for tuning in.